$50 for 10 hours for a profession. I think that they should have a really distinct category in casting networks, casting frontier actors
Yeah.
everywhere saying, we know we're insulting you, uh, but we only are looking for people that are, I don't know, just started. Because that's not even $12. I think it's like what, $12 an hour. So it's not surprising that the big boys are out there going, "Ooh, we got to do these because we're going to make lots of money because it is a $7 billion already, and it's expected by 27 to be a $200 billion industry." Why? Because we're hooked and locked and socked on what I call iPhonics, because everything we do is on our phones. I get it, but putting us into a situation, actors, and saying, yeah, we want you for $150. And I know that the kids that are 20 are getting 800 to 1,000 or more to do their things. And if you've seen anything about verticals, then we're going to get into this interview. Sorry, Daria. If you've seen anything about verticals, I can tell you one thing that every single person that says anything about verticals, they say the same thing. Fucking verticals. You know why they say that? Because they're inherently shitty. They're just shitty. And I know I'm probably knocking myself out of the running for any vertical coming up in the future, but oh well. Point is that they're just bad.
No, I know. I agree. And I actually recently saw a reel of a girl that I'm like, she must be some kind of like a new vertical star. And I kind of got tied into it. I was like watching it. She was good. And she's like the bitchy, bad girl.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They are bad, but I was like, it's like this, the disaster you can't look away from. You're just like,
Well, that's why and that's the thing, okay?
they're like soaps,
I
basically.
get it. Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and it makes sense. Think about it. What is, Bold and Beautiful, my friend Sean Kanan, all these soap operas, the reason why they're so popular is because the demographic of, uh, on average,
Yeah.
women
Housewives.
25
Yeah.
to 54, yeah, that are at their housewives or whatever. I don't know how much that plays in anymore, but they're extremely popular. And the reason why they're popular is because they're so over the edge, they're so in love, they're so in hate. And I get the extreme. I get it. It's like that's why reality TV shows are
Mhm.
popular,
Yeah.
were, and maybe they're coming back.
And they pay similar apparently because reality doesn't pay contestants that much. People don't realize it unless you're like a star, higher level, or you win a big cash prize.
You win a cat. Spin the dial. Be
Yeah.
on TV. I don't understand, and I want to get into your book, which I'm very excited about. And by the way, I went through it yesterday. My Evelyn
Yeah.
Wood speed reading, "The Actor's Guide to Getting Cast in Hollywood" by Daria, and I can't say your last name, but I will.
Balura, but you say it differently anyway in Ukrainian, so it really doesn't matter.
How do you say it in Ukrainian?
You have to like roll the R, like Daria Balura.
Wow, that
Balura.
was
It sounds weird to
awesome.
me even.
I felt like you just said something that
I
was
feel
really.
like I'm Colombian or something cool like that.
No, I swear to God, it sounded like you said something that was quantum physics.
Oh, I
Say your
wish.
name again. Oh, it's okay. Anyway, so well, let's get into your book. But what I'm curious about, I'm jumping to chapter 5 or 6 or something about reality TV shows, and I know you talk about verticals. You and I have had conversations about verticals. Um, the problem I have mainly, other than they tend to be shitty, is that how do you take a vertical in portrait mode, hand it to, your editor, which would be me in general if I'm doing my own, and make a demo that doesn't make you look like you just started doing this
No.
and that no one takes you seriously because last time I checked, you're a casting director. Are you looking at portrait videos of people and going, damn,
Yeah, I know. Not really. And I mean, I think that's why you have to have a separate clip for those or a reel because like I said, the girl I was looking at, she had a bunch of them and it was a separate thing. And I
okay.
think she kind of blew it up a little, but yeah, it was a little further and I was like, I felt like I was watching on an iPhone, even though it was on my laptop. We got to adapt. I mean, I still have yet to cast them. I've been fighting it.
I know.
Kind of like, oh, I need a job. Just kidding.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
gotta do it.
and that same, it's interesting you say that because that same concern comes to you're an actor, comes to an actor. It's like, someone said to me, they go, well, maybe you should do it because then you're in good with that
Yeah.
casting director. And I'm like, if that
Oh,
casting director is casting $150 verticals for two
right. You
hours,
probably don't
then
wanna.
I got to imagine that my level
Yeah.
is going to tank.
Yeah. Although, recently I've seen like big casting directors that used to do like blockbusters, studio projects, now doing shorts. And I'm like, hopefully the industry's picking up, but we gotta
I
adapt.
hate shorts, by the way. Whenever my
I know.
manager or agent says to me, they go, got you an audition. Yeah, it really was. It's for a short.
Yeah.
Why?
Hey,
Do the
I
whole
agree.
movie.
Yeah. I've seen some good ones. I mean, I cast a
So have
good
I.
myself.
Yeah, no, I agree. They're not
Couple of good
bad.
ones. But again, it was like a director that was won a bunch of awards, USC. I
Mhm.
mean, you got to do quality. You can find quality anywhere,
Of
obviously.
course.
Sure, you'll agree. But
I'm not, by the way, I'm not knocking short films
hey,
because of
you know
quality.
your stuff.
Quite the opposite, because a lot of times, like I like last year, year before, I did a lot of interviews and film festivals, and also my friend Sal Framonde, he owns OPrime.tv, which is all it's like 8,000 film festivals, and I used to do film festival live and interview people. I'm not saying the quality is usually very good, and you should work with some of those people because the next thing they're going to do is a feature or a TV show.
Mhm.
The problem I have is that short film, I believe the reason why people doing short films is they're doing them kind of like a proof of concept. When in reality, right now, I saw the article and it said, you know what Netflix is looking for? And Hulu, they're looking for now the new scripted TV shows. And the problem I have with shorts is that if you're going to spend all that time and money, in this day and age where you can shoot anything on your iPhone and make it into a movie, they want the product.
Mhm.
They're not interested in, from what I've gathered, in looking at your pitch deck and all your other garbage and going, here's some money. They want you to produce it and hand it to them and go, let's see if it works. So I don't know. That's
Yeah,
why I have a
no, I
problem
know.
with sports.
And speaking of, can we talk about like I think you will agree with me. I'm still kind of on the fence. I'm like, is that what's happening? Those auditions that I see, I don't have the new iPhone, so I need to get it for this reason. But I think people are shooting it in cinematic mode because
Yes.
it looks like a real movie.
Yeah.
That is so amazing, and it really makes the audition look better. I'm just like, wow. Like it makes me feel like the actor. See, I need
iPhone
to do that.
16 Plus Pro Max. By the way, my 11-year-old boy put the Skibbity toilet on there.
Hey, I love it.
Yeah, me too. But the bottom line is that yeah, oh yeah, I mean, I'm always been that's why my show is called blah blah AI, is because I love tech and I have Black Magic and I have a Lumix for I love those cameras, but let's be real. Trying to produce stuff on those things means you have to color correct. You got to make sure that now again the power is in our hands as a as an actor. I have I think you've been through my app. I showed you.
Yeah, it's
When my
amazing.
app comes out, it's going to entail, basically trying to give actors the confidence and the one-stop shop to be able to give you a tape that's really good. But I think that, and I've been talking to my friends at SAG, who, by the way, Robert Chestnut, congratulations. He got Northern California president for SAG, and my friend Larry Poole, who is in San Diego. They both came to me and said, we know what we need to do. We want to talk to you because we believe what you've been saying all this time is it's about the education of the actors and less about, I mean,
Yeah.
if you're an actor, you're acting, you know how to get to your character, you do all your thing. But the
Mhm.
technology that's out there is also supposed to be able to have it to where you, Daria, look at my tape and go, yeah. Wow. I didn't even really think about it. And I sent a recent audition and we had a conversation talking about like, do you want to do the
Yeah.
green screen? This is kind of distracting, blah, 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 blah. Point is, learning all that stuff is your job now as an actor. Whereas 10, 15 years ago, it was not our job because we'd go in a room. It's not our
Mhm.
job to make sure that we look good on camera. It's your job. But now
Yeah.
you have to know that. So anyway,
Yeah. And I mean, to me, like when I'm looking at audition, it doesn't matter. Some actors even read with themselves, they have no reader, they're good
right.
enough. I have an imagination. Um, But of course, you don't want it to get too distracting to the point where you just watch an audition that's all you could think about and it takes away from the acting.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's too much. By the way, I even before I came up with this app that's coming to a theater near you soon, I was using something that's called Celebrity Voice, which is basically because I live 2.5 hours from LA. I don't have any family members that I trust with doing my reads with me. I'm not going to go on to We whatever and buy someone to come on because I don't know if they're going to be good. So I learned to be able to do this stuff with myself and my teleprompter and so on and be able to formulate a good audition and give a voice into this thing, change it a little bit, and then that way you don't go, oh, that's Will talking to Will. Because
Yeah.
I mean, there's too many variables.
What do
You're
you
a
think about having somebody on speaker?
yeah,
I often don't know if the person's in the room or on speaker. Sometimes I could tell,
yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes, but a lot of times you can't. And my biggest problem with when people use other people is it sounds like this. Yeah, yeah, you're gonna
Yeah,
be
true. Yeah,
like I
that is
don't know what the
distracting.
hell they're saying.
Right.
This sounds like crap.
I've heard a few of those where I'm like, I can't hear what the other person's saying at
What are
all.
you saying? Anyway, let's
Yeah.
talk about your book. Are you excited?
No, I am actually really excited. I'm one of those people that like doesn't, tries not to get excited until something exciting happens. But it's been received pretty well, I think, and everyone's been really supportive, so I am getting excited.
Good. You should be. I've hired a plane and they're dropping collateral material all over the United States with your book.
Oh my
So,
God, thank
and
you.
hot air balloons and airplanes riding in the sky. So you should be getting
Yeah.
soon.
No,
But
it's been a lot of work. It's been like years and years coming. So that part I'm excited just to get out of the way. It's just like, when you accomplish something, it's like a different energy.
yeah,
You don't realize it subconsciously.
well, you're
And
official.
other things start happening.
Well, you're official. I mean,
Mhm.
the reality is that it's kind of like the whole thing about like teachers. Yeah, I don't like quote unquote like give me money, I'm gonna teach you, but I've done a lot of self-tape courses, a lot of different things, social media courses. And the thing is that that whole adage about sometimes as a coach or an instructor, you learn more than you
Mhm.
do if you're in a class
Yeah.
because it reinforces what you already know.
Mhm.
Plus you're thinking on your feet. This is your thinking on your feet and
Yeah.
years
Yeah.
of doing what you've been doing. So I have to ask you just out of curiosity, you literally did this yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I did my research, of course, because I want it to be useful and I always want to be professional and know what I'm talking about. And you have to be up to date on things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I literally put everything you could possibly need to know into this book. Like I don't want to, there's a lot of great books out there. So I want to be like, just read my book. You don't need other books. But
Yeah.
literally, I did my homework. My book has everything in it.
Well, I will say that if anybody needs any credible stamp of approval, I'll just say that her background is not zoomed. She literally has that many books in back
Ah,
of her.
so smart. No.
Yeah. So, but I say that because, if you had like a weird like lighting and gaming and stuff like that, I'd go,
Yeah.
oh yeah, did you use AI? But you obviously read.
So
So,
that's someone I do, but I also technology, thank God. I love Audible. I'm an
yeah,
Audible junkie because literally when you're busy, you have it on speed. There's also an app. I mean, doesn't compare to yours, of course, but you can listen to things to PDFs on speed. So
yeah,
yeah, anywhere with you, clean the house, driving to your audition, whatever.
yeah.
The time
Yeah.
saver.
I did a gig this last week, and it was a cowboy gig, but I had to drive 8.5 hours each way.
See?
So same thing. I mean, like this is a great thing because nowadays we have the technology to be able to help us learn pretty much anything we
What do
want.
we do before technology?
Uh,
Oh,
People actually went to the library and there was that thing called Dewey Decimal System. I don't know.
I know, right? What is that?
Let's go a little deeper into the book. You literally, I think in looking all this, I know because I know you well enough that you literally have done all these different styles, whereas someone that just went, I'm gonna do some research and throw it in a book. You talk about headshots, resume. I like the your casting package, the whole headshots, resume, reels, and you break it down, representation, and basically, I like the insight, which is they want actors to look ready, not perfect. That's
Mhm.
really such a great, really that really I want the t-shirt that that should come with your book that says you don't have to be perfect, just ready. And I think that's one of the biggest problems that actors, a lot of people do. They believe that they need to do so many things to get out there and do that. When, in my opinion, if you've been doing this long enough, you should have inherently gathered all of these things that you shouldn't be so overwhelmed with
Mhm.
the process that you should just be
Yeah.
like acting. People go, "Oh, you're acting." No,
Yeah.
it's better if you're being. But what a great insight
No,
because
I mean, yeah, it's like being a writer, those writers that do too much research and don't actually ever write. I
yeah,
mean, I have a sister that's successful and she has a jewelry business, a brand with clothing now and everything, and she used to model and she's always saying like, don't be too precious with
yeah,
things. You just have to do it. And I really admire that about her. Like she has a company called Vera Meat and she's always like doing the next thing, always
yeah,
accomplish things and just like very snappy, get it out. And of course, you want to do the best job you can,
of course.
but you can't sit on it or there's just too many things to do, you know?
Yeah, and that is just such a great little phrase to say about auditions. Is
Hmm.
that you can sit there and I have, and you can sit there and go, oh, okay, I'm going to do it again. But the problem is that you, in my opinion, you kind of get further away, the more wrapped up in the minutia of all of the other stuff, and you lose your original. Because how many times as an actor have you looked at your self tape and went, I see 16 of them, but guess what? I
Yeah.
like number one
Mhm.
because you did it, you felt it, you made it
Often,
happen.
yeah, the first one is the best for
Yeah,
sure. And I
yeah,
mean, I do reality on the side as a contestant.
yeah.
That's how I still get my acting in. And so I feel you, everyone, but it's like as long as you're, when I'm coaching someone, like warm up a little bit, but then I'm always like, especially when I'm coaching kids and I'm telling the parents, like, just have the camera on because that's going to be the take.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and that's because in reality,
Mm,
in our business, what we're looking for, the money is in real people.
hmm
And that's why, like, I just did this audition for this film. Hopefully, everything they make the deal happen. And I played a priest, and it's just like really great script. And I'm doing this thing where the guy's eating the heart seriously as the priest, and so we find out
Nice.
this a devil worshiper or whatever. But
Oh.
when I did it, I was just so into like what the scene was about and doing it, and they said to me, um, "You did like we had like 100 people, and I don't know how you did this, but yours was totally different than the rest of them." And a lot of times I do that because I try to do a wild card, like something
Mhm.
totally different that you wouldn't expect because
Yeah.
you never know. And a lot of
No,
times,
that's good auditioning. Yeah,
yeah, I'm saying that because a lot of times it's really about what you don't expect that winds up
hmm
getting you cast.
for sure. Yeah, I see that all the time. I agree.
Let's talk about you have, let's see, let's see, booking a job inside the casting room, background actors. I want to ask you about background actors because it's so weird nowadays. To me, it seems like background actors would be really just people who are saying, "Look, I normally stay at home. I have a job. I love just love to meet stars and so on." I mean, back in the day, you're trying to accumulate those, you know, what do you call it? Vouchers, and you
Mhm.
had and you did that because you wanted to become SAG, Screen Actors Guild. How has the background changed now? Do you think it has at all?
I think so. I mean, I see working actors doing background sometimes because they just want to be active. They want to
Yeah.
be on set between jobs. I've always treated it as an art. I used to be a casting director at Central Casting, which is like the
Oh,
biggest casting company for background, and I really love it. It's uh, often like if you're watching a movie and if the background doesn't match, like I was watching Dallas, okay, the other day, the old Dallas. Yeah, my husband
wow.
was really into it.
Why?
I know, yeah. Well, yeah. I kind of got it. Yeah, it gets you. They have so
I
many
know it
seasons, I
does. Yeah.
guess, for a reason. But yeah, why? But the background was like all just a bunch of like older men, and it really took me out of the scene because I'm like, come on, they're at this party. There's all ages. Like, what is happening here? So you really have to be on top of that, and often the background sets the scene, right?
Yeah.
The energy. I mean, it's big in
Yeah.
movies.
Do you still think, and I want to ask you about this because back in 1980,
Uh-oh, don't
yeah,
say it.
thanks. 1983, 84. So I had spent at least a good, I was in Central California, Northern California, San Francisco. I had spent at least a good 5 years just doing in the very beginning because I had done like 20 years of theater and so on. I'm like, you don't make money in theater unless you go to Broadway or whatever the case may be. And so that was when, at the point as an actor, I went, okay, I have to stop being artistic and decide whether or not I want to go make money. Which is kind of an oxymoron in the film
Yeah.
industry. But my reason I say that is that I wound up doing a lot of like lighting stand-in work, a lot of it. I
Yeah,
did a lot of
which is
background.
fun. It pays well. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think, I mean, and also if it's union, you're going to help with your insurance if it can reach $27,000 a year.
Yeah.
But let me ask you, do you still see that in background that some people are upgraded? Do you still see that the opportunity is still there for them to
Yeah.
learn about what's happening on set and meet
Yeah.
people and network?
No, for sure. I mean, it's happened to me. That's how I got my SAG voucher. I got upgraded on set. I just had like a line.
Yeah,
I knocked up actually like a long time ago. So yeah, and often, people don't realize like when you're watching a commercial, a lot of those actors that are not speaking, you think they're principal because it's a commercial, but they're actually background.
right.
But it could pay anywhere from like 350 up.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's good money. Background actors are very important.
yeah.
And it's fun, you get to eat free food on set,
Yeah,
relax, playing your iPhone, whatever.
yeah, whatever.
I used to do it, I loved it.
Yeah.
Like
There
people
was
don't
a
stop.
guy, there was a guy in the Bay Area at the time, Michael someone. This
Mhm.
guy was literally known as the background actor, but this guy made a tremendous amount of money. I did Patch Adams with him. I'm in Turner and Hooch, and I was the groom, that the dog, and anyway, I did so many films with him. And he was always on set. And I said, how are you doing? I mean, you're always doing. He goes, oh, I make six figures a year. Plus,
Yeah.
I have insurance. I have a great pension. And he didn't care. He was
Yeah.
like, I don't
Yeah.
care.
I mean, you don't want to be like stuck in background, obviously, because I
Yeah.
do see that a little bit where, certain actors, like when I'm casting principal, for example, and I see certain people and I start to think my mentality leans a little bit that way, like, oh, that's a background actor. And
Yeah.
often I hate to say this, but I have noticed a lot of people that just do so much background, they're really not the best actors. But there are other actors where like you see them, you know them, they're like they just want to work.
Yeah. Well,
Have
but you
both.
just said something, but you just said probably one of the biggest pitfalls in our industry for actors is having a casting director going, oh, they just do verticals or they just do background.
Yeah.
Because when people ask me a lot, they go, what would you say the one thing is that you need as a professional actor to become successful?
Mhm.
And they think I'm going to say, go to Harvard, blah, blah, blah. And I go, confidence.
Oh my gosh, yes. And go to Harvard. I mean, hey,
Yeah,
that goes with
if you
confidence
can.
though,
Yeah.
because when you're, confident and you're smart, I mean, some of the best actors are smart,
Yeah.
even kid
Hopefully.
actors.
Well, they realize that, as I always say, that there's business in the word show business.
Mm-hmm.
And they're
Yeah,
not just like
like
waiting in their dressing room.
yeah, so many stars. Like, what is it? David Duchovny, who I've met, is like amazing and hotter in person, even. Um,
Mhm.
but they've gone, to Harvard. There's so many because
Yeah.
I mean, it also teaches, it shows that they have discipline,
Yeah,
right? It's like
yeah.
if you could be book smart, you could be life smart often.
Speaking about discipline, chapter 8, maybe child actors.
Hmm.
Um, you deal with a lot of younger talent.
I
Um,
love casting child actors. I hardly ever get to do it, but it's like my favorite because they're so open and just
yeah.
fun, and they're still not like jaded by life
Yeah.
often.
Yeah, isn't that true? But is there, but this is something that I've noticed because I've been doing it for a little bit, is that I kind of think that the younger actors a lot of times believe that the route to becoming successful is a lot shorter than we used to think.
Mm,
You had to do a lot of work as an actor starting out younger, and
yeah.
we were really at it and trying to go at it. But I now notice, like, I get on set and I'm like trying to do, I've done this a couple of times, and I'm talking to someone who's younger,
Mhm.
and I know that they're inexperienced, and they're like, on the phone, fine if that's your break and you know your lines, but they tend to be a little more deer in the headlights. And I'm wondering if that's just something that sign of the times, because we could just do TikTok and do 30 seconds. I can't. I have an 11 and 14-year-old. If I can get them to pay attention for 20 seconds, I'd be amazed.
Hey, yeah. Nowadays, I mean, yeah, I mean, the biggest agencies have reality departments and now influencer departments. And
Right.
I always say, I know people used to disagree with me. I think they're starting to realize it now, where I was like, reality is going to start connecting. You see stars doing TV and they're going to start doing game
Yeah.
showy things and whatever. I mean, it's speaking to the verticals and, we're getting more online and just, it's not as scripted anymore.
Right. Well, one thing I did see is I saw an interview with, I think it was a pretty big casting director, saying that they're seeing people, and I'm making up the names, like William Dafoe, and they're seeing like all these top people and they're auditioning. And because they're saying that if you have talent that's offer only,
Hmm.
they're not going to work,
Yeah,
because they really want to see these people go at it and do it and make it happen.
yeah,
And, I'm not surprised, but I'm a little surprised that people that like on that level would be not at an offer only, but I'm sure they are. But the
yeah.
point is that they're
I think,
saying that they want to see these people in auditions now.
right. Yeah, I mean, I think it also depends on the project, of course.
Yeah.
Those kind of people will read for like a huge, like Steven Spielberg or, big producer,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of money involved. And yeah, and some producers just love to see actors read or they want to see their energy in person. I mean, I think the whole thing is like if someone is a huge star, you've seen so much of their work that I think you should know what they're capable of by now. So unless you really want to like work with them as a director, I feel like in the room, I mean, I think would agree with this and have
Yeah.
experience in this. Um, because yeah, sometimes you meet someone and you're like, wow, they're a real big jerk, or like,
No, that's right. Well, there's your chemistry read, and there's your
yeah,
like, I've had several,
you
interviews
just don't
lately.
gel or you do.
Yeah, they just want to see that you're not gonna get on the audition and go, yeah, hey, hurry up, man. I got shit to do.
Exactly.
The
Most I've
other
met
thing
though
is,
are so great though.
what's that?
Say that. Most celebrities like big, like A-list though I've
Yeah.
met are really great.
Oh, okay. That's good.
But I'm sure there's a few bad seeds or like the B-list ones, that
Yeah.
like are now jaded, like I said, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The other thing about that process is that if you have a Matt Damon-y, or you have a person like that,
Mhm.
um, some actors are themselves, and that is their deal. And
Often,
then
yeah.
some actors like Daniel Day-Lewis or whatever, I love doing looking totally different.
Mhm.
I love doing that, because then you go to the red carpets and they go, that was you. But
Yeah.
I just love that sort of method acting thing.
Yeah.
But I see where if you have a standard sort of an actor that is well known, and you go, this guy always plays the dad who's in trouble,
Mhm.
then if they're reading and you want them then to play the businessman who succeed, you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
gotta see, even though they
Yeah.
got name and they're going to bring ticket sales, you got to see whether or not they're going to make your film good. So I imagine
Yeah.
that's what they want to see too.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
One of the things I love about your book, that is different than I believe most other books, is that you have a category, um, which is basically Wish Upon a Star, which is, all of the meditation, the mindset, the forget it. We'll try it
Spirituality.
later, yeah. Creating your own luck, do what you love type of stuff. And that's kind of good because, I think, and because I'm really big into like quantum physics and all this
Mhm,
other
me
stuff.
too.
And
Mhm.
what I've recently discovered, and I'm putting a segment in the show about this, is that your subconscious is the one that keeps telling you you're not good enough. It's the
Mhm.
one that tells you, oh my gosh, maybe there's something wrong with you, blah, 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 whatever.
Imposter syndrome. I mean, everyone has it. It's
Right.
uh,
Well, and if you know anything about that field, one person that is, of course, there's Dispenza, whatever his name is, Joe Dispenza, and there's a guy named Bruce
mm,
Lipton,
mhm,
who's a scientist and a PhD, great guy, and saying that from 0 to 7, you learn everything.
mhm,
The bottom line. So whatever you learned at 0 to 7 keeps going through the script in your head. So I
yeah,
love the fact that you're addressing this with actors because I would say in this day and age, mental capacity or the lack thereof is
mhm,
one of the biggest problems we're facing nowadays,
yeah.
mainly because we're hooked on
I mean,
iPhones.
I think, and even speaking of iPhones, like there's I'm trying to think the name of this specific one, but there are so many brain games you could play on your phone just to like work your brain. Because as an actor, and I've had this experience recently with like, um, you know, speaking of my sister, she's trying to get back into acting a little bit here and there. And I have a friend, I'm helping that's like retired now, wants to do it. And you don't realize like memorization. I mean, veteran actors, I can give an actor a scene and be like, hey, these producers want this in like 2 hours. And it's like a 5 page scene, and they pretty much are either really good, cold readers, or they
Yeah.
just do it.
Yeah.
Because you're so used to it. But if you're not used to it, memorizing is gonna be really tough.
It'll consume you. Well, look at the
That's where
statistic.
meditation comes in, just
Yeah.
clearing your mind and focusing.
Well, look at what the charted, what the biggest fear of anybody is?
Well, I've
Public.
had that before in talks, like workshops where I get off subject and all of a sudden I'm like, what was I just talking about?
All right, there you go. Well,
But
the biggest fear is
stage fright.
public speaking. Yeah.
Yeah.
They say,
I
and I
was
know
right.
because I'm a keynote speaker, but they say that but in reality, I mean, that's one of the things I always tell actors they should be doing anyway is talk as much as you can
Mhm.
in public, go
Yeah.
into forums like that, have groups, because the more comfortable you become about not having a script, because I have to ask you, how many times have you seen an actor that is really good, but they get up in front of people like at award ceremonies or something, and you go, well, they can't talk.
Yeah,
They have a
I know. I
script.
know. And I think like, yeah, that's why like taking even public speaking classes, I mean, that's so important. And just really honestly, like I'm working on this too, but I always talk about this actor and I should start mentioning his name, but like um he said, an acting coach told him to go into the room to do the job, not try to get the job. And I think it's
In your
just
book.
yeah, and it's so I know I've like stolen that and made it my own, but it's so true because and I used to sing and everything, like even just auditioning for that. If you just relax and don't take yourself so seriously and just try to tell yourself it's okay, I don't have to be perfect. I'm just gonna really be in the moment and
Yeah.
enjoy myself. That's what it's all about. You'll
Yeah.
do better
Yeah.
instead of
Well,
being hard on yourself.
that's the age-old thing about if I remember when I was in my late teens, early 20s, I would go, why don't I have a girlfriend? How come I never have a girl? How come I don't? And what happens,
Confidence, you'd have a girlfriend,
well,
confidence.
if you keep saying to yourself,
Yeah.
want,
Yeah.
I want, again, this is basic
You have to be
101
like the secret. I
manifestation.
have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Basic
you
manifestation.
have to be the person you want. Act like it, even if you don't see it.
That's right. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah,
And
it's
this
true.
is it because think about it. In this industry, people always ask me, and I know they ask you, they go, how do you deal with that? You just audition for that. I go, 1 in 100. And I had one recently,
Mhm.
very big film. 1 in 100, I'll go, damn, I really want. God, I really want this one. Oh my God. But the rest of them, I go in, I do that, and they go, well, how do you feel? I go, about what? And they go,
Yeah.
you went into a callback where I go, it's done. I'm done.
Yeah.
It's done.
You
I
just
have
have to
no
leave it. You
control.
never know. Yeah, what's gonna happen. You can't like if you I think what works too, if you really want something instead of like the desperation and the nerves, just have it be more excitement.
Yeah.
Like interviewing, for a job. I mean, unless my publisher took that out, I did have a bunch of things about even just how to get a job because interviewing for an audition is very similar.
Yeah.
I often find like I worked with this casting director. I was when I was her associate on like a big TV series. We found that if we told an actor like, "Oh my gosh, we're such fans of this show," like they would often like start messing up because they get into their own head and they're like, "Oh my God, they love me. I have to, be this certain person." And it's like the same thing, just relax. And we often started telling them after their audition that we love them.
Yeah.
You would think it like you have to give them confidence, but I think people then think you have this expectation.
Well, okay, so let's kind of finish up with I have two things I want to say. Number one is that this is one of the reasons why I don't really like in-person auditions. And the reason why, on the whole, is that I find it winds up being like reader's theater. Because if you aren't the person, because I'm not the guy that's going to come in with 6 pages memorized. I have a system and I do
Mhm.
pretty well. But if you want me to be to where you think you want that character to be, and we're about to shoot the film, then that's asking a lot from an actor.
Yeah.
So what you're really doing is you're asking an actor to come in with most likely an assistant who can't read.
Yeah.
That's going to read to you. And then they're going to go, yeah, what do you want? Come on, we got to go, Will. I got to go. I got to go. Oh, this is great. So I'm supposed to come to this high pressure thing and
Yeah.
perform for you with
Or the
something
room is
I've
really
never
hot.
seen before. What's that?
Or the room is really hot.
Yeah.
I recently had to do a few in-person auditions, and I was like, guys, we need to like have a door open here and get the more air going because all the lights and these four actors, like, and I'm sweating, it's like hard to focus. So you never know what to expect in the room.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, there's so many variables. This is why when COVID happened, BC, before COVID, but when COVID happened, I was like,
Before Christ,
yeah,
before COVID.
yeah. Sorry. People would be like, "Well, no, we're not gonna be able to do it in person." I'm like, "Thank God," because when you go there, you have to think about this. Are you really there to impress them with the fact that you have good reading and memorization skills? And are they really expecting you to come in and be that character? I mean, okay, you may be, and maybe that's what we should be
Yes,
trained to
they are.
do. But you want to see me when we're cameras rolling and we do
Yeah.
it. Now, I get it, but we've put a lot on actors to be able to fit in this particular line. And
Mhm.
if you don't, then they go, oh, well, I'm not interested
Yeah.
in. So
Hmm.
anyway,
Yeah.
in your book, I want to know, is there any particular subject or chapter that you particularly really like?
Good question. I mean, I think like auditioning probably because I wanted to be useful for actors. Um, so I try to give tips of different types of auditions, even hosting or commercial, low budget, higher budget. I mean, all of it. And you have to just try to find is it niche or niche?
It's either niche or niche.
Okay, I've heard both and I'm like,
Yeah, so have I, and I never know how to say.
yeah, because I can't tell you how many times like I see an actor and I'm like, oh, they're okay at this, type of acting, like action or whatever. And you have to remember what you're also, I get off subject a lot. So you have to find what you're doing because I'll see them and I'll be like, whatever. And then I'll be casting voiceover or something. And I'm like, wow, the acting is really good when they're doing voiceover. So it's different. And when you're auditioning for I'm really like I'm gonna start actually doing like the TikTok and stuff. I've been kind of against it like verticals, but when I'm watching auditions, I'm like, oh, this is such a good tip. I should start giving tips.
Yeah,
Is my point. But because when you're auditioning, there's so much to it, like auditioning for action, how to use your body, like just even like leaning forward a little bit into the camera, pretending
yeah,
you're going to pick something up or holding someone's hand. You don't have to do anything crazy where it's like distracting or have props, but you
right.
should be using your body. Like we had this audition the other day where this of a doctor, and it's like a Western, so old times, whatever, 1800s, I don't know.
Yeah, period piece.
Yeah, period piece, thank you. And you have to, like, the auditions looked real where they look down a little bit, but you have to also be aware of the camera. So don't, even then in the audition room, this guy kept looking down.
Yeah,
No, you have to look at the camera,
yeah,
but also be looking down a little bit, and just like, when it's cut up this way, I can imagine that you're doing something, even though I know you're doing it below, and like I just see your shoulders moving.
yeah.
But and also like have the urgency because someone is like, they brought in a patient that's like critical.
Right.
And the actors that didn't have that, didn't have the urgency, were just like falling asleep, like, oh, okay, bring him in. It's like it's not realistic
Yeah.
to the scene and to the, I guess, you know what I'm trying to say. Like,
Yeah, I know what you're saying. What you're saying is that you have to put, well, first of all,
you
you
have
have
to
to be try to
think
be
about what
different.
you're auditioning for.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, right. But the other part about that is that it's a different medium because if you're talking about like, hey, you hire me and I got the role, then I know that you're going to be doing this over the shoulder dirty and you're going to be doing this shot here. I mean, and you might be, and the point is that the director and cinematographers are going to take that apart, whereas I'm doing this right now with you, and if I
Mhm.
go, oh my gosh, I dropped something. If I go like that and I go, oh my gosh, this is like you said, you have to be, there's so many other rules that play in auditions that don't play in regular on-screen stuff because you got to show them. And you
Yeah,
can't go
even
like, yeah, Jeff, I know what you're talking about, man. You're great. Wow, you're gonna be, because you can't. You got to go over here and you go Jeff
yeah,
or
and with
Jeff.
that, like, exactly, placing your eye movement, but not looking all the way to the
No,
side, but like having, placing this person here. Even dying scenes, I've seen great like dying scenes where the actor just like, is like, oh, pretending they got knocked against the wall versus like disappearing, like falling on the ground, and you're like, where'd you go? You're gone.
Uh, come on. I want you to add another chapter in the book about the funniest things that you've ever seen in your auditions. Because
Oh my
by the
gosh.
way, you have a lot of anecdotes and you talk and about situations and that, in my opinion, I think people learn more about
Yeah.
stories than they do.
No, and my thing too that I love to do is like for the director to break it up because we see so many tapes, is to leave one really funny one. Not even like, I wouldn't say it's a bad audition, right? It's like one actor was really like into it, and I'm like, oh my God, what is he doing? Is this for real? But he was just so into it, kissing his arm, pretending he's having like this makeout scene. And I'm like, this is insane. Like someone has to see this. So I always have like one funny one, and to like wake them up. They're like, wait, what? Is she for real? Like, what is,
Killing me.
but it's
That's
like, it's
hysterical.
fun.
Yeah. No, no. And again, it really depends on the material, but you
Mhm.
kind of have to really jump into it to show them that you're going to do it. By the way, I love the fact that I honestly wish I had green screen in back of you because your hair is going like this. And I'm like,
Oh, I know.
looks like she's riding on a scooter
Yeah, I was thinking, see,
in
talking about
Europe.
distracting auditions, I should take my own advice. It gets so hot in this room that I was like, and I'm trying to make the fan go lower.
Yeah, you're good. I just
Um,
saw your hair going like this. I'm like, what's going on over there?
Halloween
It's the
shoot.
person doing the weeding. Anyway. Daria, boy, it's always a pleasure to have you on. And I think again, I've said this before because I've interviewed you before because really you have such. Oh, you have a little
I have
poem.
my assistant. She's always
Wow, what's your
here to
sister's name?
audition with me.
What's his name?
Uh, her name is Stella,
Oh,
but I didn't name
sorry.
her. Kind of, well, it goes because that Stella.
Stella, Stella.
Everyone always does that, but I didn't name her. She came as Stella, and it's like perfect. It's meant to be.
I think Stella needs to be the like give you a thumbs up if she likes an actor or not. So,
Yeah, no, she
can
does.
I
She's
get a thumbs up or pause up, please?
huh? Oh
Anyway,
yeah.
Daria, appreciate you and woo, and dance break for puppy dog. And of course, your new book coming out, The Actor's Guide to Getting Cast in Hollywood by Daria, and I'm not going to say your last name. Everybody else will have to do it themselves. But I will say, it says it comes out September 8th. So I bought a copy of it, and
Yeah.
that will be coming. There's two different ways you can do it, obviously. You can do it via, Kindle, whatever, or you can get, it looks like, because I got the book coming out. I'm personally, even though I'm a big tech dude, I actually, when it comes to acting, it's kind of like my scripts. Even though I can put it on my iPad and do this and do that and all write that other crap on it, I like to physically hold it and go, yeah, and then I
I
can.
know that's what another actress just said that got one. Yeah, I agree, and I can always autograph it, which is so funny because I'm not a celebrity for like you have to autograph. I'm like, who wants my autograph? Come on, guys.
I'll take your autograph, and then I'll most likely sell it on eBay. But anyway,
Oh,
uh,
hey,
there you
hey,
go.
if you could sell me an eBay, I would love that.
There you go. Daria,
But let's
appreciate you.
also, I
Yeah.
wanted to say really quick too, if if you like, we can also do where if they say they can message me and say, or you, whoever, get to you or me and say that they saw this on your podcast, and I'm happy to provide them with a comp, like half an hour coaching session
Oh,
with the book.
I think you should do
So
15 minutes. Don't do a half hour.
I know it's not what publishers say.
Long.
What
15,
it's been
you got
taught.
one problem. If you sign up and
Hey.
she picks a weekly, one, maybe
I
two.
know they're like, you're gonna have like years
Yeah.
and years of sessions
Yeah,
together.
I don't really want to be the guy
But
that you call up and go, what the did you
that's
do? I
where
got
I know
25 people.
my name does mean giving, and I think that's where, I often will go over on sessions, like somebody will get an hour, and I'm like, it's like 2 hours later. But I always just want to help. So
Yeah, I get you.
wow.
My name is means watching over.
Okay. Thank you. Well, we'll go with whatever you say.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, we'll come up with this. It's a great idea though. By the way, if you can actually, I want you to put in a little note when you see this in the comments telling me that you can pronounce Daria's last name and be entered into a drawing for, I will personally give away 4 copies of this. Personally, I will make sure that you get them. When you see this in there, look on the lower third so you can see it. If you go to the site, actually, I want you to contact her directly, but don't hassle her. Like, do you have anything for me to audition for? Because that's my job.
No,
Anyway,
I have an email for actors. Yeah, I can give you that. And yeah, and let's do a session. Should we do
yeah,
half an hour with the four books, half an
love
hour?
it. Yeah, and then on top of that, if you're entered in that drawing when you do that, then you might win the 15 minutes with Daria on what
I'll make it a little
your
longer
issue is.
though.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on the show. Anything else you want to leave us with, your pearl of wisdom?
Do it because you love it. You should want to be an actor because you love it. Do it for the right reasons as much as, The Bachelor,
Yeah,
it's reality. What can I say? No
yeah,
comment.
reality. And make sure that last thing I'll say is make sure that you put